Get ready for the Girls on Games podcast, your weekly dose of news, reviews, and everything video games. Always served with a good helping of hype and just a pinch of salt. And now, your host, Leah.
Hello and welcome to another Girls on Games podcast. My name is Leah and I'm the host of this show. This is episode number 463. And on pod this week, we reminisce on 30 years of PlayStation. And convenient timing too, because Joelle played Astro Bot. But before we get into that, I want to introduce you to the friendly voices around this digital table. Catherine, what's up?
Hello. Sorry, I got distracted. Clearly, you called my name and I panicked.
Yeah, she panicked and said something, and I was like, cool! Joelle, what's up with you?
Hey, I just want... Where's my fall? I ordered fall, and it's late, and I'm mad.
Well, it hit fall here in Toronto for 3 days, and now we're going back up to 30 degrees, so... So, yeah. I feel your pain. We'll get into what everybody's been up to in a few minutes. First, housekeeping. I'd like to remind you that if you enjoy this show, you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Podbean. If you'd like to get some GOG merch, you can do that by going to designbyhumans.com/shop/girlsongames. Maybe you'd like to give us a tip. Maybe buy us a coffee. You can do that by going to our Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/girlsongames. I don't know why I said a few minutes, considering that takes me all of, 20 seconds to read? But here we go. Catherine, what are you at, girl? What have you been up
to? What have I been up to? Man, this week has been just, so weird weather-wise. It was still summer. It was still warm. It was, between 25 and 30 degrees every day. And then on Sunday... it was 10 degrees. And I had to walk to the gym wearing a hoodie and a jean jacket.
Whiplash.
And it's been slowly creeping up. It's going to go back to 25 end of this week. And I'm just like, this is Canada. This is the last time, right? This is the last huzzah before we actually...
the inverse of March.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where in March, they're like, might be spring. Snowstorm. And now it's like, it might be fall. Heat wave.
Exactly. So I got to wear shorts for 2 days this week to go to the office. But tomorrow I got to wear jeans because tomorrow is going to be 18. It's going to be, and we're recording this and I'm wearing a hoodie. It's just that time of year. What have I done this week besides that? I feel like I haven't done much. It was our last week of summer hours. It was Labor Day. It was our last week of summer hours. This week I have to work all 5 days from 9 to 5. How rude, honestly.
Yeah. Fuck work.
Yeah.
How dare you.
On top of that is we're interviewing for an open position at work, and they booked me at 9:15 this morning. I was like, oh God. At least they booked us on a Monday, knowing it's a work from home day for most people.
Yeah. So to say, I purposely block my 9 to 9:30 so nobody will book me because I'm like, hell no.
I wish.
I need that time to get in here and be like, what am I today? Who am I today? What am I doing?
Exactly. Listen, I actually had I was awake enough to figure out that I should get up and get dressed. Instead of having whatever t-shirt I slept in, that was clearly a pajama top. I was like, maybe I'll just go at least change my shirt. Yeah, it's just one of these weeks where I was just like, oh, I gotta work all week. Oh fuck, I gotta start with some interview. The poor sap. How? I'm like, my bosses better be coherent because it ain't gonna come from me.
Is it for a UI position?
Yeah, it's our dev tester.
Oh, wow, cool.
Our dev tester left midsummer, around mid-August. And they've been interviewing since. And they left the posting up publicly for 24 hours. and they got something like 200, 300 applications.
Oh, yeah.
It's an employer's market for sure.
Right? Yeah, it completely reversed.
Yeah.
Especially for anything QA, because so many people want to use that to become, like, as a way to get into game dev and become game dev, which is, like, by the way, very valid. Very valid.
Entry.
It's just,
it's a good entry.
But it's just, again, it's a junior entry position. Therefore, you're fighting against so many people. So, yeah, and it's, right now, it's easier for them to weed out people, because Ubisoft has basically removed work from home and remote work.
Oh, is it full time in office? Do you even get a
No, but you have to be in Montreal and you have to be on site 2 days a week.
Oh, so does that. Oh,
so as soon as somebody's like overseas, doesn't want to relocate, it's just like they start with people that are already local sometimes. They, not that they want to discriminate, but sometimes when you have 300 application, they're like, all right, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see
There's
people
gotta be
that
some kind of threshold.
Yeah.
So my boss.
It's tough though when you get that many.
But it's not my job to
good.
No, basically
it has been my job. I had a posting up for a videographer and graphic designer, and I had 500 submissions. I legitimately looked at each of them and started like filtering through. Like,
oh my God.
But I was straight up looking like the first pass was just qualifications.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because people are sometimes too are just mass applying for anything.
Yeah.
So like I was getting UI UX designers, and I'm like, yeah, you're not gonna like this job.
Yeah.
No, if all you've done is apps, unless you're specifically saying I'm looking to transition.
I didn't see that. So, and I specifically need to be able to design things and edit video and film video. Not the same. Not the same.
Yeah.
No.
Mostly a motion designer before you want a graphic designer.
Yeah.
But all that to say that, like, we have an HR department. They did a first, like, pool of candidacy. They did their own screening. Mm-hmm. At the very least, like, did you lie on your CV about speaking both English and French? Let's test now. Because we get that a lot.
Yeah, that would make sense. I'd do that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, sure.
I'm not sure how many interviews, like, my boss and the team lead for QA did before they kind of, like, found the candidates that I'm meeting. And, like, the current interviews we're doing is basically just a team fit to see if they gel with us. Yeah. Because they're like, all these people could do the job and they can't choose. And, like, HR was like, do you really need to do a second round of interviews for dev testers? They're like, we can. If we feel we need it.
It's better that way. You want a team fit. It's important.
Yeah.
You really do. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
because
if you can wait and be patient, then
yeah, because the thing is, like, team is really important on my production because we're so small and we're so lean and we're so gung ho, and it's just as soon as something is not working out, it's pretty evident. And you're just gonna get dragged along because, like, this train doesn't stop. Like, working on the live game is a marathon. And everybody, if you don't keep pace, like, if you're too far ahead or you're too far behind, it just shows and it's not working out, right? Yeah. That's what we're currently looking for. But again, I'm not the hiring manager. I'm just going to be one of their future colleagues. So these interviews are like, hey, shoot the shit with this person for a while and let us suss them out. I'm just like, okay, but it's 9:15 on a Monday.
You want me to be presentable and talkative and
like, compared to the other person that we're meeting on a Wednesday in the afternoon, like, this person's gonna get a better version of me this morning, and the other one we met on I think it was like a Friday mid-morning or something. But yeah, I'm just like, my week was pretty quiet, and then HR just bombarded me, and I'm just like, oh God. And, like, it's kind of dawning on me now today. I'm like, I just spent an awkward 45 minutes with somebody that's supposed to be my future colleague. I'm like, I should be taking this more seriously, I guess. You know, it was me and other people that are far more responsible and trustworthy than me. So I'm just like,
hey, if they want to get to know you, you could just be like, go listen to my podcast.
exactly. That's what I should like. I'm sure HR would love this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I am not going to get
I'm
a
always
no.
nerded out though when people who know they're getting interviewed go and look you up online, and I'm like, oh god, because they want to know about what you do and what you're into and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh god.
I think also it's the way that they approach it too, because like we interviewed one guy for the team that I'm on, and I'm a project manager now, and I have been for a few years, but I basically had to take a step down to get a project coordinator job when I pivoted out of being a pastor because I could not get a project manager role, even though I already had the title. And one interview that we had with this one guy, like, immediately got, like, an ick feeling from him. Like, as soon as, like, he gave me a handshake, and I'm like, all right, I acknowledged that I already don't like this person, but I'm not going to allow that to, like, pay into the interview. Like, I have to be, like, I'm going to try to, like, acknowledge the feeling, but then, you know, see what else that he has to say. But then, like, during the interview, we asked him about, like, a team question, and he talked about, like, how project coordinators don't really know anything because they're project coordinators, not the project manager. And he's like, well, you know what I'm talking about because you were a project coordinator. Like, you weren't as skilled as the project manager. And I was like, bro, where I worked, I did everything the project manager did. They just didn't pay me a project manager's salary, but I was doing everything. I was like, I hate you.
No, but
Goodbye.
I was just like,
Don't let
bye-bye.
the door hit your
Like,
ass on
I
your
know.
way out.
I was like,
Yeah,
oh
no.
man, like you're not doing well, sir. Like this is the opposite of what you should be doing. And I was like, I don't like this at all.
Yeah,
Like, mouth, insert foot.
I was like, gross.
all the red flags. all the red flags.
So
Like
many.
sometimes you just gotta trust your gut, especially you since you're a pastor and you've worked with people so much,
Yeah.
fostering community and that stuff. Like you probably have better antennas.
Oh yeah.
He said so many things, and I was also the only female on the interview panel. And I was like, I looked at how other people scored him, and I was like, how did other people like interpret this person? Because I can understand, like, I definitely have a different perspective on the panel, and there were some answers where I did intentionally. I was like, I just don't like the way he answered the question, and so I put him low. And I waited until after we had chosen the candidate, and then I went to my boss. And I like my boss. We have a good relationship. And I asked him, I'm like, what did you think of that guy? And I wanted to see what he would say. He's like, yeah. He's like, I thought some of his answers were really kind of strange. And I was like, me too. I'm like, can I be really honest with you? And I like told him all my feelings. And he was like, you could have shared that earlier. And I'm like, I'm not going to share that earlier. I was like, no.
Unless you you share that when you really don't want that person on your team. You're just like, nah, no.
I didn't know, but now I know. But I didn't also like want. I think if he wasn't a part of the final group. I think if he was going to be a part of the final group to be hired, I probably would have approached my boss and been like, here are some of the red flags I see. I would just like to inform you of my perspective. You can still like. I don't want to like taint your opinion if you think he's going to be the best fit, but these are things I'm concerned about, like working with him
Also,
on the
like
team.
if he's not respecting you in the interview, he's not going to respect you at work. It's
Hell
just
no.
like
Exactly what I told my boss. I'm just like, I'm concerned that he doesn't respect his team members of like being a project coordinator. Like he has to delegate and like they do all the work. So I was like, ugh. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like this attitude because he's going to be like this with people and he's going to turn everyone off. So, but yeah, exactly. I was like, if you're doing this now, I'm very concerned about how you're going to operate in our team. But yeah,
Like,
so all to say is that if you go and research people, which I have done, like use it for good.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Use the knowledge for good, not evil.
Because when I interviewed some people like 3 years ago for like another teammate. They had just grabbed whichever dude had like game dev experience. And when we met them, I was talking to my boss at the time. I'm just like, who are these fucking people? Like, one of them was basically a team lead already. In the interview, he was basically like, he had a hero and a savior complex.
Oh, no.
I was just like, wow, what do you want to do on the live game with us? Like, if we're just kind of chilling here. And then the other dude they showed me, he had extensive AR and VR experience. And I'm just like, this dude is wildly creative. Amazing. 10 out of 10. What the fuck is he going to do on the live game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when we do, like, part of the job is just, like, recurring tasks. Like, the task we do when there's a new hero, a task we do when there's a new game mode, a task we do when there's a new battle pass, like, my colleague that we ended up hiring for that position, like, half her job is just these recurring tasks. So I'm like, all right, like, can we find somebody a bit more junior that's going to fit better? And we're just going to. So we found a girl that did video games in school but was working out as a web dev. I'm like, we can easily transfer some skills. Let's just meet her, see if she's sweet. And like 3 years later, she's on our team and she's like a very like predominant member of the team. Like, she's in the social committee. She made friends on the project and everything. And I'm just like, yeah, see? Stop looking at game dev experience. Start looking for people that are actually nice. Yeah. Or that have experience that's like relevant with what we want to do. And it's not to shit the fact that I work on the live game. It's just some people are better for when you're early in the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
And post-launch is not early in the process. Post-launch is keeping the thing going. And we don't have Fortnite money. So we do smaller things on a smaller scales, and we iterate we do it slowly. As in, Fortnite just throws a bunch of money at their game, and the game's new every 2-3 years, right? We can't do, so I'm like, I'm sorry. If you're coming with that kind of attitude, it's hard for us to be like, this is a good fit for you.
Yeah.
That was my rant about hiring people.
Yeah, it's hard finding a good team. And when you get one, you want to keep it together, which can be challenging.
That too.
Joelle, what have you been up to this week, girl?
Not too much. It was really actually really nice. I didn't really have anything planned this weekend, which it ended up filling up, I was like, oh, I have nothing planned this weekend. I'm so excited. And then just filled up with a bunch of stuff, which is how it goes. So I just did a lot of gaming, which made me really happy. So didn't really do a whole lot. I'm in a training for work this week, and the session's like 6 hours. So my brain is a little mush because it was the first day. It was the first day today, and I had a lot of stuff to get done at work while I was gone because like all my projects are going through the approval process when I'm not there, which is perfect as a project manager to not be there to lead the review sessions.
I know.
I had to get all that together. But yeah, I just got like a bunch of training this week, and then so I'm just trying to like just get through it essentially. So
yeah, I find that the hardest. They've got these like things that we have to do, like career zone activities, and once you become a senior leader, you start having to do the ones on like mental health and everything too. And there's this one group of them where they're like, there's 3 phases of it, and each phase has like an in-class, I say that with air quotes because obviously it's WebExes all the time and stuff like that, where you do that, and then there's like a review phase, and then like a quiz. And yeah, I'm always like, oh, it's just a training, whatever. But then it ends up being like so taxing and time consuming because you're like trying to pay attention, and work doesn't stop.
No.
Yeah.
On the side.
Yeah.
Come back and your inbox blew up.
Oh yeah. Speaking of work not stopping on the side, that's essentially all I've been doing. Because I thought festival season was bad in the summertime. It got nothing on September. Holy cow, everything is back full force. So, Toronto International Film Festival is on. I've got most of my team working at that. And there are times where there are 3 red carpets happening at the exact same time.
Oh my God.
Yep. So, like, give you an example, there was a red carpet with Robbie Williams today. Robbie Williams? Yes. Hold on. Yeah.
The singer.
Yeah, that's why I said that right. I was like, I was going to say Robin Williams, but I'm like, no, it's not Robin Williams. Robbie Williams.
Robin's dead.
I watched the video today. Rip. Robbie Williams had a red carpet at the same time as a movie with Selena Gomez. So, and then another team's off on another red carpet for something else. I'm like, this is crazy. And then so that started Thursday with the Tragically Hip documentary that came out. So the crew went and did that red carpet, and then they were carrying on with that over the course of the last few days with like red carpets, interviews in the office, all that kind of stuff. But then another crew of us, and this is where I actually have to get my hands dirty because we're so strapped with people, is we've been partnered and working on some editorial with Billboard Canada for their first iteration of Billboard Canada Women in Music celebration. Mm-hmm. So it's an award thing. And so they had their first award show, which was Saturday. And I had to go and work red carpet, which is fun, but have not done that in a while. So, very exciting. But my inner teenager was losing her mind as we filmed an interview with Alanis Morissette.
Oh.
And I was like, everything she was saying, I'm like holding the iPhone, we're listening to audio, just being like, yes, Alanis.
Oh my God, a dream.
I love you, Alanis.
She's a powerhouse, man. I saw her in concert like a year ago. Damn. Yeah. I was like, I hope I can still rock this hard.
Oh my God. That album, Jagged Little Pill, was like the soundtrack to my early teens. I know every goddamn word on that album. Mm-hmm. So that finished. But you know when you go and do these things, and Catherine knows this because she's lived this life, is like you go and film it, but the work ain't done then.
No.
Right? Then you've got to go and prioritize everything, upload it, get your editor editing what they're editing for one thing, get the socials up at the same time, have a publication strategy at the same time as all the TIFF stuff is getting published. So at least that event is over. But by the time you hear this, as we usually release on Thursdays, I'm going to be off to Edmonton for the Canadian Country Music Awards, as we're still so swamped that I have to go work that too, which is fun. I'm really excited about it. But Saturday was a good kind of like get my sea legs back as we go into that. So hence why getting us working on our TikTok channel has been helpful to kind of like get used to using the app and all that kind of stuff, and then off to Edmonton on Thursday. So it's gonna be fun. There's a lot happening there too, but I've been told it's a very cool event because it's very like though obviously an award show and festivities and things like that, it's country music, so it's a little bit more on the laid back side. And there's still lots of like industry parties and all that kind of stuff, and I get to get dressed up on Friday night for a gala, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, the only gaming I'm going to get in is when I'm on the airplane to and from Edmonton. So here we are. But you know, that's just the way it is sometimes. I will come back, have a little week break, and then Mike will head off to, he's got to go to Adidas head office in Portland. Oh. And, I will be playing Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
Oh, fuck yeah.
While he's gone, and I'm okay with that. I will have loo time to use up.
Yeah.
I think we should look at the Fantasy Critic, because you know what? It's September. And things are happening.
Things are happening.
Stuff's coming out.
Stuff is coming out. I think it's the first bit of movement that we've had on the Girls on Games podcast for a bit. Mm-hmm. It's me, then Kat, then Joelle, because Catherine has picked up some points with all the games that have been coming out, finally, because you had a lot of your content in the back end of the year.
Yeah, Astro Bot coming in at clutch with 30 points.
Shit. 30 points.
I think that's the largest one so far this year.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Rebirth had 25.
Yep.
Yeah, I think 30 is the most we've seen so far.
Yeah.
For this year, yeah, I think so. And I still have Warhammer Space Marine 2. I thought it was coming out. It came out. It came out today officially, so I guess the reviews and numbers are going to be out.
No, you got it there. You got 12 points for it, my dear.
Yep.
It came out at an 82.
Really? I was in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Is it locked already?
Points. No, it's there. It's in there. Yeah, it's locked.
Oh yeah. Nice. Why is it still on top of the upcoming releases then?
I think it actually physically came out today. So the review, so it would locked in today, right? It's just because of the day that we're looking at this, on the 9th.
Okay.
So then next one on the list is Joelle's, you got the Plucky Squire, which comes out on the 17th. Mm-hmm. Then I got 3 in a row. I've got Frostpunk 2, Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, Starfield Shattered Space. And Joelle, you've got Silent Hill 2 Remake, Diablo 4, DLC, Metaphor ReFantazio, and then I've got Neva and Mario Party Jamboree is on Kat's list. And Kat, that's been getting some pretty solid preview info. I'm actually really looking forward to that because I think it's going to be a great one for the holiday season.
Honestly, yeah. Just something to play with friends. Mm-hmm. But totally. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to run away with the this one this year, Leah.
Leah's got this in the bag.
Unless I get hammered with something.
Well, I don't.
You never know. You never know.
I know.
All right. And there's no changing or nothing happening because we're all locked in. So let's go over to Community League. Some shifting and over here. Darth is now in first. He hasn't moved in a bit. Pat is up in second. Offshore Meteor is in third. Jessica's in fourth. Alban's in 5. Ross is in 6. I'm in 7th. Stainsby Kingsby is in 8th. Zhang Pao is in 9th. And Phoenix is in 10th. So yeah, things are moving here too. I just put some bids down. But of course, I won't know about that until near the end of the week. Hard to say. Okay, so Stainsby Kingsby had Warhammer, so he got the 12 points there. And then Astro Bot. Who had Astro Bot? Who had Astro Bot?
Zhang Pao.
I'm scrolling. Zhang Pao had it? Mm-hmm. Why don't I see their thing here?
Astro
there we go.
Bot.
Yes, those 30 points. Mm-hmm. But what worked against poor Zhang Pao is the fact that he had Warhammer picked. And Final Fantasy Rebirth. Ooh, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, counter
Those are his 2 counter picks? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, buddy.
And then also picked Harry Potter Quidditch Champions too, and that took away 4 points. So yeah, that's a rough one. That's just hard luck. Hard luck. All right, so that's where we stand. Let me just see if there's any history of people doing anything last week. No, last thing was August 17th. So there we go. All right, let's get into what everybody's been playing. Maybe we'll do mine and Kat's real quick because we're still playing what we were playing last week.
Is the Star Wars?
Yeah, the Star Wars.
The Star Wars. I'm going to admit that today I stopped playing in frustration because I kept falling off a fucking cliff.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Guaranteed you'll go back and make it the first try when you go back to it. That's what always happens to me.
Exactly. Every time I have issues with platforming stuff, it's just like I just put it down, scroll a few TikToks, go back to it, and then first try. But we had the podcast, so I just turned off the Xbox completely. I was like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah, I'm just wandering around that beginning land still, like going off and trying to get all the different items that you can collect and whatever else. I don't even want to look at the main quest line until I'm done that, which is probably going to be to my disadvantage. But I've almost got like the 3 kind of like ability people. I'm almost got them finished at this point. But I haven't had a lot of time to play that. I am really curious to hear what Joelle has to say about Astro Bot because that was blowing up my timeline over the past few days.
Yeah, so I got a code for Astro Bot, and I was psyched about this game because this is the sequel to Astro's Playroom, which was a free game that you got on the PlayStation 5 because they wanted to showcase the power of the graphics and the DualSense. Because I don't know if we can remember that far back, but the DualSense came out and it was, going to promise all of the sensory birthday cake madness that comes with being able to feel all the little things on your fingertips as you walk on different surfaces and hear the rain and the gyro controls and all that kind of stuff. So Astro Bot is the sequel to that, and it is, I think it's my game of the year so far.
Ooh, high praise.
It definitely delivers, and in my opinion, it fulfills all of the other ratings that it has gotten so far. If you enjoy 3D platformers, if you loved Mario Galaxy, if you liked Odyssey, if you liked Rayman, if you like Spyro, if you like Sonic, if you enjoy those type of games, this is going to be essentially a must play for you, because I think this is going to go down in history as in that camp. It's that good. It boasts 80 levels, and it's split across 6 worlds, and it's so engaging because of the creative level design and powers that you get on each level. You have 15 different powers that you get throughout the entire game that you have to interact with each level in a different manner based on the power that you get. So someone, I think it was Bless on Kind of Funny when I watched that review after I finished it, and he said it's almost like you're going on a Disneyland ride every time you enter into a level. And I think that was the perfect way to describe this game. It's I wanted to keep going because I wanted to see what kind of thrill. It's inject me Astro Bot with the next thrill of the next level, because it was so much fun to play, and it ran flawlessly. No bugs, no skips of any kind. It's a masterpiece. It's so good and it's so fun. And I think that they really set themselves up well to just build upon this world if they would choose to do so. Because as the premise of the game is that the PlayStation 5 is a spaceship, and it runs into an alien in space, and the alien takes all of the necessary components of the PlayStation to run, and it crash lands on a planet, and you have to go to each other galaxy to win back your part so that you can put your ship together and then continue your journey in the galaxy. And along the way, you have to find all of your other bot friends in order to piece together the ship. And there's over 300 other bots to find throughout the whole game. And they did some extremely deep cuts in the PlayStation catalog. They did some well-known faces, which you can see Kratos in the release art, so he's a bot, and they did some other really well-known characters that I won't spoil because it's so fun. But it's so cool because you not only have the motivation to try to find all of your bot friends, but you also have that additional what am I going to see? Who am I going to find? What sort of Easter egg am I going to uncover with this next bot? And each level has a set number of bots, and as you play, the little menu will pop up when you find a bot, and it'll show you where you are in the lineup. And then if you miss one, it'll show you, so you have to replay the level in order to find all of them. And some of them are very tricky to find. So I played the game in about 9 hours. That's how long it took me to do my initial playthrough, and I think I found 206. So if I wanted to go back,
that's perfect.
Yeah, it's not very long, and I did some. There's main level stages that you can do, and then that are fairly easy. Like most of them, I finished like on my first try. So it's not terribly difficult, and you can up the difficulty if you want to hard. I just put mine on medium, so I didn't feel like I was blocked by the difficulty on the level. And there's additional levels that you can unlock as you play that are more difficult in platforming. So if you want more of that challenge, like if you are interested in kind of, seeing how good you are at the game, you can play at those levels, and those are more challenging, but they're not necessary to beat the game, which is really nice. And so, as you move through the game, you have a few powers. Like initially, that's the same as in the previous game, where you can jump, you can hover, you can punch, and you can spin attack. And then he also swims or the bot swims underwater. And there's a few water levels that are kind of open world sandbox levels, which are really fun, because I think those were one of my favorites in Odyssey, where you could just explore the game, the level, and it wasn't linear. And they have a lot of levels like that, where you need to find all of the pieces in order to finish the level or to complete the boss. And it was fantastic. So if I would happily buy this game and have it in my catalogs, I just think it's going to be something that is going to go down in history. PlayStation finally has a rival to Mario, and like this is it. So it's incredible.
Did you play Astro's Playroom?
I did, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing, and it demonstrated the DualSense so well, and this just builds upon that in leaps and bounds. Like, this was better than I ever could have imagined.
Because I remember playing through that and, like, singing its praises because it was so good, and it being so, like a love letter to being a PlayStation fan for years. And I couldn't imagine how they would take that to the next level, but it sounds like they did.
Yeah, they really have. They have I feel like they sat down and they looked through the history of 3D platformers, and they took all the best parts and then they elevated them. Because as you're playing the game, like, you could recognize, oh, this is from Odyssey, this would be from Spyro, this is going to be from Rayman, this is from Jack and Dexter. Like, you can just kind of tell some of where these mechanics like come from in the level design, and the cadence of the levels are almost like perfect. They're never like too slow, and I also never feel like I need to go too fast. It's so well thought out. That's why I'm just like, it's like a masterpiece. It is. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterclass in level design. This game is. It is something else. And if you are a huge fan of PlayStation, the Easter eggs are abundant in the sites that you see on the levels and the tools that you have to use. And after you finish the game, you have to essentially play through the credits to totally finish. And it is incredible. I have never experienced this in a game that I can think of. Because I was trying really hard to think, like, when was the last time I had to do this? And I've never had to do this. The ending credits are so unique. And I feel like the team loves video games, and you can tell that they love video games, and it just shows, like, in every pixel throughout the game.
Oh, I'm going to have to get this. I'm going to play it when I come back. Because, yeah, love the last one. I have a feeling this is just going to be fun. And, like, it obviously shows. It got, what was it, 95 on OpenCritic?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Blew out expectations. The music is fun. It just feels so original. It's almost just like a breath of fresh air, like in platformers that we were missing, like since Odyssey. I kind of feel like it's like I wanted that like magic of something new and something fresh, and this is what it is. And also, The Verge just posted this today, I think. Yeah, earlier today on Monday, September 9th. But the Team Asobi, is going to release a free DLC for the game later this year.
Sweet.
So if you've already played it and you're wanting more, it's going to happen soon. So on the Verge article, it says the game will continue to basically do a well-earned victory lap with the new DLC that's coming out later this year that was confirmed by Astro Bot director and Team Asobi studio head Nicolas Doucet. So the DLC is going to offer new maps geared towards speedrunning challenges, leaderboards, and of course new PlayStation-themed bots to rescue.
Cool.
So it might not be very big, but I think that, again, like, they laid the groundwork for them to build upon so well, and they're already doing it with, like, speedrunning challenges and leaderboards. Because as I'm playing the game, I was thinking, well, if I was speedrunning this level, how would I do this? So in my mind, I was already, like, thinking of how would a speedrunner do it. So they've paved the path for that, and they're going to, like, give that opportunity. So I guess, like, if you had to nitpick, you might think that Astro Bot's moves are fairly simple because there's only 5. So the platforming options may not be as deep as, like, Mario and Mario Odyssey. Like, you had Cappy, and you could do a lot of moves, like with Cappy, to get to certain places to traverse the worlds. And so Astro Bot doesn't have that, but I think that's okay because it makes it very accessible, and then it gives them room to grow, and it gives them room to mature this character and mature the story. And then also you can just enjoy and take in all the things that are happening. So part of me is like, I don't want to be concerned about traversing something. I just want to make sure to find all my Easter eggs that I want to find, and they leave all these gems for you in each level where, like, I don't miss that at all because I'm so engaged in the environment. So it was so fun.
Awesome.
It was so fun.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I'm excited. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk more PlayStation in a minute. But first, it's time to take a walk down memory card lane. Each week, the team will have to guess a historical game that would have released during the time of this episode's airing. We'll start with its release date, then I'll give hints about the game for the team to attempt to guess what it is. As always, ladies, talk it out. This game released on September 15th, 2015. Go ahead.
15.
2015.
So that was that was pre Breath of the Wild era.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that's the year that Rainbow Six Siege came out.
Yeah.
What else came out around?
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
We already did
Rainbow
Rainbow,
Six
though.
Siege came down in 2015, yeah.
I know it's not Rainbow because we already did Rainbow.
Yeah.
We already did Rainbow. It's in my list. My epic list that's really growing. We have now hit doing this for a year, just so you know.
Wow. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the first ones we did, I was lying on my stomach
Yeah.
because of my back. Means I'm coming on a year of healing.
Yay.
Yay!
I don't know. I'm ready for the next.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for the
Okay.
next hint as well.
It's a 2D role-playing game.
Role-playing game.
Okay, but we've already done Octopath, and we've realized it's not 2D, it's 2.5D.
Yeah.
We learned shit with Walk Down Memory Card Lane.
It's educational and fun.
I like being educational.
Is it Little Nightmares?
Nope.
Maybe that was too early for Little Nightmares.
There's, what was all those good games that come out? There was, damn, they're on the top. I see the image. There's the one I played on the iPad this year. There's Oxenfree.
Nope. It's not Oxenfree.
What was the other one? We were a little cat.
That's a good game, though. Didn't they come up with a second one? Or is the second one in the works?
Oxenfree 2 is...
Yeah.
Cat played it.
Yeah, I haven't played that yet.
I just played the first one, but I didn't play the second one.
Oh, sorry. I thought you played the second one. Okay. Where you were a cat.
And you're in a band?
A cat and you're in a band?
And you're in a band.
Yeah, every character is a little animal. It was done by a studio called Night School. What is it called? Oh God,
Night School. Oh my God! What? Not in the Woods?
A Night in the Woods.
Night in the Woods. It's not Night in the Woods.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Sorry,
I'm just giving you more games to do later on.
Yeah, there you go.
I
try not to do the ones that you've mentioned unless there's a really good reason to do it. Trust me, when we're in this part of the year, it's a smorgasbord. Talk to me in frickin' April or May.
I thought about this game. Yeah, I thought about this game in September, but it's in April.
The game was funded through a Kickstarter campaign where it raised over $50,000, surpassing its initial $5,000 goal.
In 2015.
Is it Dream Daddy? A dad dating simulator?
Oh my God, that'd be a great one to do!
That would be amazing.
It is a 2D RPG. Game Grumps funded it through Kickstarter, I'm pretty sure.
It's true, but unfortunately it is not that game. I don't think we played that game in 2015. Did we?
I forget what year it was for Dream Daddy.
Yeah. I was in Montreal. I remember that.
Let me just...
Is it Hollow Knight?
No.
That's a good guess. Is it Shovel Knight?
Nope.
Dream Daddy is 2017.
What
Sorry.
other night game?
Close. Close. Do you want another hint?
Yes, please.
Oh, is it The Messenger?
Oh.
Oh.
It's not. Those are like platformers. This is not a platformer.
Okay.
You've gone down a platformer route.
Sorry.
All right.
2D RPG.
Yeah.
Back
Yes.
to
Bring us
dating
back.
dads. Okay, let's go.
Okay, back to In July 2016, during a summit about the internet held at the Vatican, YouTube personality Matt Pat gifted a copy of this game to Pope Francis. You should see the girl's faces.
God. What console would Pope Francis have? He'd probably have a Switch.
Kat's lost her mind. I'm trying to find the wackiest questions ever because Catherine always gets them second clue.
Oh my God.
I know the Queen played a Nintendo. She had a 64-karat gold Nintendo Switch. The Queen of England.
I knew about that too. Yeah.
The Pope. What would the Pope
Yeah,
play?
Matt Pat gifted a copy of this game to Pope Francis at the Vatican.
So does that mean it has a physical release?
Must be.
I mean, how else are you going to hand it as a present to the Vatican? To the Pope. Hey, Pope Francis, here's a code for a game.
Here's a little Xbox code or a PlayStation that I got at fucking Shoppers Drug Mart for you.
Have your vicar
you, bud.
download it for you, boss.
Here's your Nintendo e-coins.
Comes with free wallpaper, bro. Take the sacraments and shove it. Play your video game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is becoming a fucking clip for social.
What? Oh, I don't know.
Is there
Another hint?
Yes, please, because I'm just going to guess another game we've already done.
I'm gonna guess a different platformer.
Oh my God.
Is it Sonic?
Sonic.
Okay. Collect myself. Gotta do a podcast. Get it together, girl. Okay. The game is famous for breaking the fourth wall.
You know, you say these hits a lot. I'm just telling you. You give us the same hits, and then we gotta guess different games. Okay.
Or breaking the fourth wall. And it's not Undertale. We've already
It is
done
Undertale.
Undertale. I thought Undertale.
I thought we had done Undertale already.
Oh my god.
No, I went back and looked because I thought we had done Undertale too, and I had to go back and look, and I was like, no, it's not.
I could have gotten this too. I psyched myself up saying
Yeah,
didn't
I
do
did too.
Because I literally went back and I was like, I swear to God, we had done Undertale.
Yes.
And I went back and look. I have my doc from
And you're
last
sure?
year. Hold on.
I thought we did.
Yeah, because
I know. I was
every
like,
time
this doesn't make any sense.
every time you're like, it sounds like Undertale, but I'm sure we did Undertale, and it's just like it breaks the
And
fourth
that's why
wall.
I
I'm
thought
like,
we hadn't.
Undertale's the only one I know that breaks the fourth wall. I'm just like,
I bet the
let me
Pope would
confirm
like
that we've
game.
done Undertale.
Is there?
Yeah, no, because we
Follow-up?
Oh,
started
did we
this
do
in
Deltarune?
No, we started this in. It's possible. It is possible that we had done it in a holiday one or something. Like quite possible.
Okay,
But
I must be thinking about
as
that.
of episode 412, okay, which was on
Yeah.
August 17th of last year, we started doing it, and then. When I started, really keeping track was August 24th, and we did Diablo 3, Super Mario Bros., Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Halo 3, Dark Souls, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Batman, Grand Theft Auto 3, Red Dead Redemption, Gears of War, Call of Duty. We're way into November at this point, so we had not done it. I was like, really? We hadn't done Undertale? But maybe I had picked it up for something else. But I usually keep track of them. I have a really good record of them now.
All right.
But yeah, there you go.
Now we're gonna have to check, Catherine, if we let's say that one.
I'm just gonna do like Rainbow. We did Rainbow. Did we do Rainbow? I'm just gonna throw.
Did we do Rainbow? Well, because the thing is too is sometimes they come back around because we end up doing a Zelda of some sorts.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna make it really hard this week, and I haven't even gone through the rest of the clues yet. I'll go through them in a second. I was gonna pick Pokemon Yellow Edition because that came out around this time. I think it was the 12th of September.
Wow,
in 1998. And I was going to make it real hard and go really obscure, and you guys were going to be like, what the hell? But I think we ended up doing one of the Pokemons back when we did a Christmas version because Pokemon comes out on my birthday. So, came out on my birthday many moons ago. So, yeah. Okay, so Undertale, released September 15th, 2015, 2D role-playing game. Game was funded through a Kickstarter campaign where it was raised over $50,000, surpassing its initial $5,000 goal. In July of 2016, during a summit about the internet held at the Vatican, YouTube personality Matt Pat gifted a copy of Undertale to Pope Francis. The game is famous for breaking the fourth wall. The game's moral choices are inspired by Shin Megami Tensei series. There are several pop culture references in the game, including nods to anime, old RPGs, and other internet culture phenomena. It is heavily inspired by the Earthbound series, offers non-lethal option for every encounter. The game has 3 primary endings: pacifist, neutral, and genocide routes. And the combat involves a unique bullet hell style, where players dodge enemy attacks in real time while controlling a small heart-shaped soul.
Oh, yeah.
Undertale.
That would've been...
I still haven't played it.
I haven't either, but I've
really should.
I've watched so much of it that I feel like I already got it.
You know it, yeah. It's one of those, eh? It's one of those. All right, let's get to news. Take a little breather. Get the giggles out. Back in a second. Yeah, we've covered a lot of games, and in my notes, I keep track of them all.
I swear to God,
it's quite possible that we've done Undertale again. Hold on.
I was like, I'm
but
it did it, but no, I believe you. I think you're right. We must have done it for a different thing, and I'm getting my
for like a holiday game where we do a bunch of games.
Yeah, maybe because we did a stint too where we did trivia with other. Maybe when we did, I don't know. Yeah, it's just
because we did talk about it at one point as favorite scary game.
Oh.
Because when I
spooky
Google
games,
search, when I Google search our documents, right, and I go back and look, it was talked about in episode 231.
Been a while.
This is where we talked about spooky games, and it came up. Undertale, Cat. Then 233, it was also listed. Gave up on Undertale. Catherine was playing it, and you gave up on it.
Oh, I couldn't get through the final boss.
Yeah. 239. Top games of this year played previous year backlog. That was in your 2019 Game of the Year. It was in 233, 232. So, like, this is way before we ever did whatchamacallit. It's quite, but I can't find it in any of my other documents because I would have kept it as, like, stuff from, or questions from, like, game night, unless I have a game night in here. Let me go see.
It's probably a game night thing.
No, because Christmas, holiday party, game night. Let me look. Ooh. Open. No, because I did it around your birthdays. So Simon was Detroit Become Human. Kat, you had EA acquires BioWare Edmonton. Joelle had PlayStation 2 releases in Japan. And I had The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons and Ages. So yeah, we hadn't done it. There you go. I know a lie. I keep track. Anyways, different question. Because I would have pulled that question. That comment about the Vatican.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Pope has a copy of Undertale.
Oh. Pope Francis. Is Pope Francis still the Pope?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't think so.
No.
It was 2016. Pretty sure. Is
Yeah.
Pope Francis dead? He did.
Well, we're 2 popes later, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, no. Well, Google is the current Pope is still Pope Francis, who was elected in March of 2013. Oh, he is still the Pope.
Okay. So he's still kicking.
Also, Pope Francis is the Brazilian dude. Okay, I didn't realize.
They always have have Catholic names, right? So it never ever
Yeah.
sounds like where they're from.
Yeah,
No,
but it is the
the-
same one from 2013.
Because it's a different name. They pick a
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
See, before that, it was the German guy,
Yes.
and before that, it was a French
French.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a French.
yeah.
The
And he
fact
was
that you
already
know this
Pope
is
when I was a
impressive.
kid. He was there
I just call
forever.
him Pope.
Like
Yo,
Jean Paul, right? He
Yeah,
was there.
Pope
Like
Jean Paul.
he was like the Queen of England. At one point, he left, and we were like, "Shit."
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, ladies, you want to get into a different version of Walk Down Memory Card Lane?
Yeah. All right.
We're back after our wee break where we continue to reminisce about popes for some weird reason. But let's take another walk down memory card lane as this year, December, marks 30 years of PlayStation, which just makes us all feel old.
Honestly,
We've all lived the life of PlayStation and more. So yeah, Kat came up with a cool idea since, some of that reminiscing is coming around right now, as, Astro Bot came out, and tomorrow, which will be old news at this point, when you hear this, there is the PlayStation 5 Pro Direct of some sort, the worst kept secret in the internet. But yeah, Kat had this great idea for us to reminisce about our time with PlayStation as... we've all been gaming these games for a long, long time, and we've had some pretty fun and exhilarating experiences with them. Who wants to kick it off with thinking about PlayStation?
Well, my journey with PlayStation started with the PlayStation 2. And I did a lot of backlog gaming because it was retro compatible. Thank you, Sony. And it became my Final Fantasy machine. I played... on that thing, I played Final Fantasy 7 through 10.
Wow.
Multiple times. 10 is the only one I didn't finish. I got really close to finishing, and then I didn't finish. I was actually thinking about Final Fantasy 10 last night, as I do, falling asleep to the piano version of the Final Fantasy soundtracks, and the song To Xanakern came out in the playlist, and I was like, I should play this game and see it through to the end, even though I know the ending. But yeah, for me, PlayStation was my first foray into modern gaming after just skipping a bunch of generations and playing my friend's Nintendo 64 or not having a PS1 myself or an Xbox or anything. Like, I had like the OG consoles, like a OG Nintendo and a Sega Genesis, and I played a bit on computer games. But once we got a PlayStation 2, because my parents were like, hey, it doubles as a DVD player. We can buy it. They can play games. We can watch DVDs. But then I was always on the thing, so they got a separate DVD player.
I love using that justification. Trust me, Mom.
Yeah, and then
Joelle, how about you?
Well,
sorry, Kat.
Well, I was just going to say that when we moved to Montreal, a gift that was given to us by Pascal's family was a PlayStation 3.
Oh, nice.
And that thing was our media console, our media hub for the longest time. I played Assassin's Creed 2 on that. I tried to play the first Last of Us, things like that. But also it was our Netflix machine because we had dumb TVs back then. And our lives centered around that small console connected to Pascal's old TV. He had in his bedroom like a thick ass TV that eventually died, and we were feeling very rich when we replaced it with a plasma thin TV, a 720p. We're like so fancy connected to PlayStation 3 to that. I was like, the graphics are so good. Yeah.
Cool. Joelle?
So my brother and I were 7 years apart, and so he kind of drove the video game bus in the household for a long time because he, was the one that wanted the Nintendo, then the Super Nintendo, and we really dived deep into the Super Nintendo for a really long time. And then he became interested in other things, and so we didn't do any more Nintendo consoles after that. So like I skipped the N64. I really wasn't involved in that generation, but I remember thinking to myself when I was younger, like, I really miss playing video games, and I liked playing video games. And I asked my parents, like, I think I really want a PlayStation. Like, I really would love a PlayStation 2, and, you don't have time for video games and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, it also plays DVDs. So you want a DVD player for upstairs. Like, can we maybe, I'll buy the games if you get the console, kind of a negotiation tactic. And so, I was extremely lucky, and I did end up getting a PlayStation 2. So for me, the PlayStation 2 is kind of my entrance into my own identity as a gamer, outside of my brother. So it was like the first console that I was able to get to play on my own, where I didn't have to necessarily share everything. And so, Dance Dance Revolution was on there, which was so fun. And I remember playing specifically Jak and Daxter for the first time and kind of reigniting my love and passion for video games just through that storytelling, through the platforming, through all the collectibles and that kind of stuff. So I think like when I look back on it, PlayStation 2 was really my like birth as like an individual gamer that I knew I really like loved video games and loved being able to play them. And then since then I skipped the PlayStation 3, the college and, grad school and all that jazz. And then I picked back up in the PlayStation 4 era. So, and since then have been on the Sony train ever since. So we'll see how long the ride lasts, but it's been fun so far. So
cool. My journey, though I didn't own a PS1, was with the PS1 because I remember vividly being at my friend Melissa's house, and she would show me Lunar, a Silver Star story, and it was an RPG with an anime aesthetic and had 4 discs, which after playing Nintendo 64 and having to think about switching discs out, I was like, what the hell is this nonsense? And also the first introduction to a memory card too, right? Mm-hmm. Because
yes.
like on the consoles, when we were playing like Nintendo consoles, it was all saved inside the cartridge, not on a separate thing, right?
Yeah.
So that was kind of revolutionary too, because obviously with the disc, it's not like you can write onto the disc from the console. So like the thought of going and renting a game, because Blockbuster existed back then, bring it home, and not having to worry about giving the game back because it would get your save written over, like you could actually hold on to it, was pretty novel. So yeah, she had introduced me to all of that. And then through friends, getting to understand what Final Fantasy was and all of that. So we ended up getting a PS2 when that came out, and did a similar thing as Kat, going through playing those games. And it was kind of Doug's, my brother's. So when I moved away for university and I wanted a game console, my mom and dad said no. Because they were like, no, you're not going to go do your schooling. I was also the first kid to leave the house, so it was like, they're like, no, you're not going to pay attention to your schooling. Whatever. I was like, do you know what a computer and the internet is? I'm going to find distractions anyway. I snuck out and bought one anyway. And then for that, I was penalized that I couldn't get a cell phone, because that was before everybody had cell phones. So, I ended up playing Katamari Damacy on that like nobody's business. Talk about a soundtrack. Holy smokes, that thing is so good. That then, of course, evolved into buying a PlayStation 3, but I didn't get it until after it was out. I think it was like I ordered it on Boxing Day one year, because like that thing, remember when that thing came out and everybody was like, you got to get 2 jobs to afford this console. And getting to play like an Uncharted series through that, Nathan Drake became a staple in my life. Ventured down the handheld route with PlayStation, with the Vita.
Yeah,
I remember
when you unboxed that.
Station.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, Kat and I had already started GOG, and, I was into my Batman Arkham Cities of the PS3 era and things like that, and, had ordered the PlayStation Vita and got that delivered to the office and unboxed it. Pretty sure the picture's still up on our Instagram account of that. Fun day. I played the heck out of that thing. And then another crazy memory of PlayStation was being in the room at E3 with Kat when the PS4 was announced, and they were like, this is how you share games, and you hand one game to the other, because the whole drama was over Xbox with their kind of like rights management stuff that they were trying to do. So that was a very fun adventure. So that has a special place in my heart as being one of the things that we got to do as GOG. That was pretty cool. And I mean, now there's been so many cool things that they've produced over the years. Some of the pinnacles of gaming. I still have my PS4 with PT on it. I will never get rid of that thing. It's going to be there forever. Maybe for Halloween I should pull that out and play it, because I never did finish it. I probably need a walkthrough and probably a stiff drink to get myself through that with the lights on. Now Mike is playing it the most, to tell you the truth, because he has been gone full force into sim racing on Formula One. And, he was never really into that like online community thing. And he's really picked that up with finding some leagues online of people that he's just mutuals that he's met over the internet and started playing and stuff. And now, it's exciting to see him talk about using the PlayStation app and using Discord and things like that to play. And then of course, like getting the PS5 during COVID and getting to talk through playing Astro Bot and Spider-Man and all these games too, right? So, or it was Astro's Playroom technically, not Astro Bot. But yeah, their logo's iconic. Their consoles are iconic. The controllers are iconic. The games they've made are iconic. Sometimes it's hard to say, okay, well, who are the icons, like the figureheads of the PlayStation universe when you think of like, where's their Mario, where's their Master Chief? Well, I mean, they do have some pretty amazing characters throughout their lifespan. Some of them have now branched off onto other things, like Final Fantasy was Nintendo, then PlayStation, and now everything.
I've played Final Fantasy on Game Pass, just saying. I never thought in my lifetime that would happen.
Yeah, like Square Enix, kind of that the PlayStation was its home for the longest time, and the only place you could get that like anime-esque fix of RPGs was on there. And then falling in love with games that never would have thought of, like when Persona 5 came out, and like really getting into that and getting that kind of feeling that's different, and now the ability now to go back and play the previous games, right? Because they've remastered everything and put them on different places. Yeah, what a wealth of stuff. And, like, not even to talk about some of the ingenuitive stuff they've done. Like, I have the PSVR. You know? I have the Move controllers. Playing Beat Saber. Watching my mom and dad play Beat Saber is freaking hilarious. So, yeah, they've really... 30 years seems like a long time and isn't a long time all at the same time for a company who's doing innovation at the level that PlayStation is.
I feel like they're also hitting like a sweet golden peak a little bit, like what they had for Horizon with the God of War, you know, the last couple of years. Now they have Astro Bot coming out, The Last of Us. Like they're definitely hitting also some great strides and laying foundational, historic like groundwork to also to have fond memories like of this time in the PlayStation catalog too. So it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and I feel they've got a wealth of IPs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, like they have new IPs like with the Horizon franchise, but they've revived the God of War franchise. And I feel they've got a few IPs like maybe Infamous that they could maybe
if they
revive.
could bring back Infamous.
But yeah, at one point there was a discussion like online and every Discord server I was in that like Sony was sitting on a wealth of unused IPs. And it's just, I think they're not going anywhere. For me, PlayStation is synonymous with Nintendo in terms of like, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. It's a good time to be in that ecosystem right now. Like the fact that tomorrow, and of course, as you guys hear this, it will be announced that there is a PlayStation 5 Pro for people to cop. I feel like it's a great time. It's curious to see how they can maximize and what kind of tech specs they'll put in it, because obviously, like the thing works fantastic now. The question is like how can they push it further? Because I mean, and that's what we have, the conversation we have every time it comes around of like what's next for PlayStation. And every time a Naughty Dog game comes out, and every time Ben Studio game comes out, or one of the other, you know, just the Japanese studios and things like that, like every time a PlayStation game comes out that's first party, it's freaking banger, right? Like they're always great games, and they always look phenomenal. Even, you know, we first got to meet Aloy with Horizon, and now look at what they're able to do with the experience on a PlayStation 5. What's next, right? Where are they going to go from here? Everybody keeps clamoring wanting a handheld again. I don't know if they'll go down that route.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
What's the little thing they did, which is basically a streamer? It sold out. We were thought, who is this for? Clearly was not for us because it's sold out.
Well,
but it's
Is it in the icon? I love that graphic that they did the 30th anniversary, and they have all these different icons in here, conveniently right next to the 30. Now, obviously, this will be out by the time people talk about it. But if you guys look at the top of the blue S in the bottom circle of the 3, there is a console there that everybody was speculating about over the course of the weekend because they had released this image, and that console is not something we've seen before.
It's the PlayStation Portal.
PlayStation
that's what it's
Portal.
called. Yeah, is that in here too?
That's the controller with a screen in it. But honestly, though, I can see it because, like, as soon as my boyfriend moved in and he was on the TV, I'm like, I want to play my game. I'm like, if I had a Portal, I could play it. And I'm like, I see.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone else needed it but me. And I'm like,
I don't know. I don't know if they'll do like a proper handheld again, like the Vita.
So.
I think they're more focused on porting their games to PC, and if they're on Steam, they can get them Steam Deck compatible.
Yeah, I think that's a wise business move. Like if Xbox is going to start possibly moving away from hardware or going into the handheld route and making things more accessible, then Sony is kind of like, well, we're going to double down on our market then, because if you're going to leave that space, and Nintendo certainly is likely not going to enter into like the tech spec of gaming. Like, they kind of have the market for as long as people are going to buy the console.
Yeah.
Buy the console, and if they keep producing, like, I know some people were disappointed in the amount of games available for the PlayStation 5, like, immediately, and I know the console was difficult to get, but, like, as someone that has just, like, kind of enjoyed the ride as a consumer, like, I've thoroughly enjoyed my PlayStation 5. It's always worked. I've had no issues with it. I've set it up, like, I put an I take that back, I did put, a SD card in there for space, and it was so easy. Like, so I don't know. I just can't. I've loved the PlayStation 5 era. So,
is it finally easy to get a PlayStation 5?
All right, let's go look at the website.
I don't know. I want to say so, but
let's go shopping.
Okay, I'm going to Amazon.
5, you get Best Buy, Walmart, Best Buy, yeah, Staples, refurbished. Looks like you can get it.
And they have the slim versions now, which I will say that if you don't have a PlayStation 5 right now, I would maybe lean towards getting the slim version, just because this thing's so big.
We don't know what...
It's so chonky.
Well, it depends on what comes out tomorrow, right?
Well, no, I guess.
Currently unavailable.
Really?
Oh.
Where?
The disc version of the slim is available on Amazon.
Oh, at the local Target near me, they have the PlayStation 5 Slim console available for pickup tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. So. And of course, there's a Spider-Man version.
Oh, the Spider-Man,
and the one with God of War.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah,
it was
pack-in.
Yeah, it's great. Well, and the PlayStation 5 price point for me is still $500, and that's how much I paid for the first one. So I'm like, so it really, the price has not really changed.
$650 in Canada, so that checks out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, PlayStation 5 Slim Digital Edition console, Best Buy Canada, $579.99 Canadian.
Yeah.
Okay, I was looking at a bundle. That's why.
It looks like it. I think it's here. You can pick it up or buy it. You can finance it for $48.33 a month.
There you go.
All right,
so curious to see what happens tomorrow.
It will be interesting.
Yeah,
but if you don't want to shell out what's going on, like I said, the slim version.
But maybe if they announce a Pro, I'm gonna have people at work upgrading, and then I can get their regular ass PlayStation 5 for cheap, and I can play Astro Bot and Astro Playroom.
So fun.
Oh my God, you've got so much, Kat, that you can play because you haven't been able to tap into some of it because you've been waiting for it to come on PC.
Oh my gosh, Kat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the new God of War.
Oh.
The New Horizon.
The new
Horizon I played.
Yeah.
Oh, right, you did play that one. Yeah. I thought it was the other one.
You got me a review code for the PC edition.
That's true, it's true, it's true.
But yeah, no, there is some stuff that hasn't come out, so I might get one used at work. Maybe I'll check the internal Pizzanos. We got like an internal Kijiji type board where people post their shit. I might see if I can cop a PlayStation 5 pretty cheap.
Well, after tomorrow, you can actually put out your own little note saying, hey, if anybody plans on buying I will buy this one off you.
I almost bought a Rogue Ally because a colleague
Mike and
of
I have
mine
been
was
talking about that.
But a colleague of mine was upgrading his. He loved it so much that he wanted to upgrade to the bigger model. So he was selling his old one.
That's the way to go.
But it was still pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, it's still like $500-ish.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's a whole ass tattoo. So I kind of sat on it, but he sold it like this.
Priorities. Well, yeah.
Catherine's choices.
Yeah.
Listen.
Kat, Mike was asking about the backbone. The one that you connect. Is the backbone the one that you connect to your phone?
To your iPhone.
The Razer back. Yeah.
Oh, like this. Like I have this.
Yeah, I know you got it. Do you like it?
It's called what is it called? The Razer something. I don't use it a lot because I don't really play mobile game. But I did download Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
So I might test it with this because I wanted to install it and try it for work purposes. So I might play with this. But I use this
it's a Kishi. You have the Kishi, right?
Exactly. I got this to use it with xCloud.
Right.
And it works great. Honestly, it's nice. If you do a lot of mobile gaming like this, and I think I got it like during Black Friday, so I paid less than $100 for it. It was I remember it being dirt cheap when I bought it, so I don't mind it not getting used a lot because I didn't pay a lot. But the only thing is I had to cut some of the padding in it to accommodate the camera of the Pixel, like this weird ass camera bump. But this is an Android problem. Mike is on iPhone. And I think their iPhone one is a bit more universal.
Yeah,
but basically
he's on a big one, like a big iPhone.
Yeah, they. I mean, this fits my giant Pixel, but yeah. So it's basically there's like just a port in here, and then you have an external port to connect to power because it's going to drain your battery. Not this thing, just whatever you're playing.
Yeah, he's thinking about getting something for his airplane travels to Portland at the end of the month.
That's a good idea.
I mean,
he wanted to take the Switch, but Zelda's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, the Switch is taken, sir. The Switch is taken.
He's like, can I take the Switch? And I'm like, when are you going? He's like, October 30th. And I'm like, ooh, about that.
Yeah. But no, these little things are pretty cheap. They're pretty cheap and they're pretty solid. So if he gets an iPhone one, then you can use it as well. If you have the same.
Yeah, there was because it's the Backbone versus the Razer is the two things they've got. So it's not a Razer Backbone; it's a Razer Kishi, and Backbone is something else.
I thought,
but it was at the when I was looking for trying to fix my headphones the other day. We were in the Apple store. He was poking around looking at it. He's like, "What's this like?" I was like, "I think Kat has one. Let me ask her."
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, all that to say, PlayStation is good.
Yes, it is. All right, that pretty much closes out the podcast for this week. As always, check out the show notes at girlsongames.ca for links to the stories mentioned in this episode, which will be the article from PlayStation talking about December marking the 30 years of PlayStation. Thank you, Catherine, for always putting those together for us. If you have the power to rate and review this podcast, wherever you're consuming it, that'd be much appreciated if you could do so. Why? It helps with us discovery, pushes us up in the rankings, and any comments help us build our show. Thank you, crew, for being on the podcast this week. I would like to ask you your social media handles so you can shout them out and people can follow you anywhere and everywhere online. Catherine, where can people find you?
I am CSDSBINS on Twitter, X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. But you can always find me on the Girls on Games Discord. That's where I do my shit posting nowadays.
Nice. Joelle, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at JoelleLauren87, on X at gamer_comfy, but always lurking and chatting in the Girls on Games Discord. Come and say hi.
And I am Leah Jewer on most social media platforms, but of course you want to know everything there is to know about Girls on Games. You can track us down at The Girls on Games on X and Facebook. Just Girls on Games, no thought in there, on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. I need to update our document, because if not, I won't say it properly. Though I throw Catherine off because we didn't change it to X. It still says Twitter in here. Discord.me/Girls on Games to continue this conversation and more. But of course, if you ever need to know anything at all, you can check it out at our home base. That's our website, girlsongames.ca. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Joelle. It's been another lovely week in video games, and I gotta find a game to travel with. Oh my goodness. Time is short. Send me suggestions. All right, bye!
Bye!